and how goes it, one and all? So I am going to continue my work on my football sim. I was reading some more complaints about the Madden license. I also did some research on the NFLPA licenses and all that nonsense, and that's pretty much as I thought. It's not practical. I am curious how some games, think Football Head Coach 25 or even Action Sports Football, I think it's called Action Sports Football 24. How some of these guys can create games that have NFL players in them, but don't have a license. Because right now, like, the license is exclusively held by EA, right? So I'm curious how, like, I think it's called Action PC Football. Okay, so this game, I've looked at this a couple of years worth. 2024 is the latest one. This game probably comes closest to what I'm trying to accomplish. Okay, so there's a few things about it that are good, I think are kind of cool. And there are some things about it that I think are lacking. And there's also some things I think that are flaws. Okay, I mean, flaws even in my eyes of what they're trying to accomplish. Okay, so I'm not going to say like it functionally has flaws. It might have bugs or whatever, I don't know, but I haven't bought it. I haven't played it. The flaws to me are the fiddliness. Okay, yes, there's some really cool deep down play in here. I mean, you can get into the weeds with how you set up your teams, how you do your draws. There's two things that I'm not a fan of in just my watching, a couple 20, 30-minute videos or whatever. Action PC football has the right idea in a lot of ways. They are pulling in real life stats. Their play supposedly function with those stats. I don't know how those stats are intertwined, but they do make it appear that what you do has an effect, which is good. So that's kind of like, that's what I'm going for. I want real life stats to have an effect on the game. What I don't feel like, I think the average football fan, even a heavy football fan, like even more than me. I'm a huge football fan, right? I love football. I think it's a great game. I think it's good I think I like the idea of the Madden games, the play simulation. I'm not a huge play simulation guy, the fast finger thumbs reaction stuff. but I do appreciate that. I love the good graphics. I would prefer taking the coach's stance where I get to pick the plays and maybe even work with the players, maybe do a special training things, have minor effects. You got to have minor effects. Improving a guy is one thing. You don't want to break the game. You don't want your guys to improve to the point where he's just like blowing up the board, right? I mean, he might move himself up to a point where he's like one of the best. Maybe he's competing with the what do you call it, Deshaun Watsons or Tom Brady's or whoever's out there, who the big stars are. But like, you might raise up a rookie, and that rookie's stats slowly improve, and certain things you do or train him for or let him take part in can build his career up, and his stats improve to the point where maybe after a couple of seasons he's starting to shine in comparison with those superstars. But he should never get to the point where he's now like the ultimate player. I mean, if you focus plays around him and you've designed you designed a game plan around him, maybe he is your team star, but he shouldn't be so good that he's just going to dominate, right? Like just blow away all of your league records, blow away all the stuff, because it shouldn't be that much of a difference. But you want to see this guy you create advance and improve throughout the game. They don't do any of that in here. This is just the player stats are the player stats. They do what they do. There's no add-ons. There's no extras. There's no... it's just what they are, and then you control them, which is nice. It does allow you to try to simulate what you'd hope is a fairly close matchup of players. You can redraw teams and rebuild your teams but out of those players, but you're just building off of those stats exactly. So mine is going to be like a high British thing, okay? Not a high British, haha, super snotty British people. High British, not snotty, royalty. We'll call it royalty. Lords and ladies, do you fancy a cup of coffee? Coffee? Do they drink coffee? Do you fancy a cup of tea? No, not that kind of high British. I'm talking about you want the player hybrid-ish is what I'm going for, where you take some of you want your players to be built off of real, but also to have some flavor, some extra things. And that's what my game's going to have. It's going to have some flavor, some extra things. Now, there's some games that don't really take the stats portion of it serious, because a lot of them is just update the cards, and you get better and better and better cards. And that means that the best cards are like, well, it's like those cards that if you have one of the best cards playing like your quarterback, and you say all pass plays, and he just like completes every pass, and he's just totally dominating and destroying everybody because your pass game is unstoppable because this guy is stupid good, right? Or you have a super good running back who just can't be tackled. He's just too good because his stats and numbers are too stupid. So that kind of thing breaks the game, and it makes it just so that the better player is all that matters. So I want to create my game to be a little bit more balanced, or a lot more balanced, to where even if you start with one team, the team might be at least competitive. Good coaching, good strategy, you might be able to make it interesting. Now, granted, I mean, if you play against a Super Bowl caliber team versus a team that went 0-16 in a year, the 0-16 team probably, you know, even with great coaching, great planning, might still be able to pull off a couple of wins, but they're probably not going to win very often against that team because it's just that much better. It's got that much better players. And it comes down to, so in the same fashion, they did a pretty good job. They do a lot of the things that I'm trying to do. Like, they have salaries assigned. I don't know if those salaries are assigned. Their cards have salaries on them. I think that, I don't remember. They may even have coaches, which I was planning to do. I don't know if I was going to assign the salaries to the coaches. Wait a minute. I might actually be wrong. Here's an example of one of their images from 2024. This actually might have been, I might have been looking at a different game that had salaries. Okay, so yeah, I was looking at a different game. My team's going to be based on salaries, and the salaries are actually built off of their skill set, not off of their real life salaries. And which would be interesting if you knew what their real life salaries were, their average per year, but there's so much math and weird things that go on. You would not be able to build identical teams. Okay, you would not be able to build like, you know, a championship team because their real life salaries would not balance out because of the way they're weighted. And when you get $100 million salary, if you take the average of every player's annual salary, and their salary cap doesn't math out that way because it's like 1 year it's this and the next year it's that, and they got a signing bonus to offset stuff. So there's a lot of things that kind of make that impractical. And for my purposes, I want their salaries to reflect their stat level. So when you build a team, if you want, the guy who blew away all the records last year, if you want 2013 Peyton Manning on your team, um, although he got destroyed in the Super Bowl, he did break all the records in the league. I mean, his stats were stupid off the board, right? And it might even be difficult theoretically. I don't know. I haven't gone through and pulled that season together in my stat calculators. I have other stat seasons. I forgot what seasons I have, but I don't even know if that team could be assembled if you were paying for the salaries, because Denver had so many dominant players that would have demanded high salaries. But you also have to have backup players and stuff, so maybe you just get some really bad backup players and you can get those guys in. But the problem is, of course, if a guy gets hurt, if he gets injured, if he gets tired, hurt and injured are the same. If he gets injured, he gets tired, he doesn't fit into a particular play or whatever the reasoning for having him not in, you have to pull in that guy who's like on the bench, and you had to go from, because you spent so much money on your starting guys, you may not have very good guys on the bench. You might come in and just be a hole in a hole. Now, in that case, you try to throw to one of your other better players. You hope, if your AI is smart enough to do it. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. I want my game to have that. Some of my players are going to have special abilities that can be implemented, or if it's being through coaching, it's or through a simulation, they will execute this special ability, either randomly or under certain circumstances, allowing those players to do, try to benefit from their actions. So trying to avoid tackles, every player is going to try to break a tackle, but some players might be exceptionally good at it. They may have this ability or that ability that allows them to maybe break a tackle, or maybe they make a fantastic catch that might have otherwise been really difficult because they have some special skill that comes up every now and then. Or maybe they use it whenever they can. It's like certain circumstances trigger it in the game, and then it would call it out and say that they executed this or did that, and it'd be like a cool little headline. Oh, he makes a fantastic one-handed grab, and then it calls it out as, and it's an ability that fires or something. It's not just that he's a good receiver. He's got these special abilities that can trigger every now and then to take what looks like a miss and turn it into a catch. But it wouldn't trigger constantly. It wouldn't he wouldn't always be able to take that feature or ability and use it in every single attempt. But he can use it so many times, or in certain situations. And that's kind of how I want to have it. I want these guys to have abilities that you can get, and of course those abilities affect their salary. So if you have these abilities, they're going to cost a little bit more, and it's going to affect your team's costs. But it could also make the difference between failing and not failing. So when a quarterback, like the way I have it designed, I have special functionality as to how a pass is made, how a catch is made, where the ball's going, how, what that effects have on the receiver and the defenders and whoever they are. And I have all that stuff set up, and that logic is going to come into this game. But it's also a board game, because the board game's already made. I'd probably say it's 90% done. I have a couple of things. It's a slow game. It takes a long time. I want to figure out a way to see if there's a way I can optimize it to play faster. In this form of a simulation, well, slow is not really an issue, right? Because you've got processing power and other things that can trigger all of the right actions in a fairly smooth action state. My game is going to have things like, okay, so to be fair, my subject, my title of my stream today was day 7. It's actually day 8 because I worked on it yesterday. But all I did yesterday was I did some studying on the Action PC, try to see what they do, what they don't, to see if this is this what I'm trying to do? Oh my gosh. I thought for a moment, but then as I watched it closer, I'm like, nah. For one thing, I don't know if there's a feature, a functionality in this, but when you play a game as a coach, you gotta have a clock. I'm sorry, you gotta have a clock. It's like, I would not see. Oh, that's clock stopped. Clock stopped is just because it's a pass or you're doing things to affect the time, because there's a time on here, but he's just, I don't know how he's calculating time, but it's just coming up. There's not an actual running clock. If you're going to let people pick their plays, it can't take forever. It's got to take the time it takes realistically for an actual play. So you got 40 seconds. What is it? 40-second clock, I think. I think it's from the time the play starts till the next play. So it's 40 seconds between plays, or it might actually be, unless the clock stops, like incomplete. I got to see when does the play clock start in NFL? 40 seconds. The game clock starts at 15 minutes, ticks down during active play every quarter. On the other hand, the play clock, initially set at 40 seconds, begins counting down when the previous play concludes. Okay, so the play stops, or the clock stops, and then starts again at the end of the play. Now, a play only takes a few seconds. I mean, if you realize, I mentioned this before, I saw somewhere that the average actual play time of an NFL game is like 18 to 20 minutes, 18 minutes. It's not very long. So you're sitting there for 3 hours, you're only seeing 18 minutes of football. But you don't realize it because it's all kind of moving constantly. The commercials make things feel a little longer, and that's usually where a lot of it goes. But a lot of it's play clock. Guys are picking their plays, and they're running back to the line, and it looks hurried. There's things going on. So it's not like you're just sitting around between plays hanging out, but you see stuff getting ready to go for the next play. Things constantly moving, with the exception of commercials, which is when you're at a live game, it's kind of crazy. So what I'm thinking is, like, that's one of the free-to-play options. It's like, I'm thinking there'll be like commercials, and that's where your ads come in. Now, they may not be as often as like the NFL. We're not trying to make an NFL length game, but like, maybe at the quarter there'll be maybe instead of like in the NFL, you might get a commercial after every turnover change of possession, and then you get some of the commercials before and after the half, and you get them at the quarter change, and there's all kinds of different things and locations, where you get commercials. But I'm thinking like the free to play options will put it in certain places, and you can pay to have commercial free games, or you don't get any of that stuff. So, you might have a commercial. Maybe each season you can pay to have a commercial free season. Kind of like, but the seasons wouldn't be like instantaneous, or maybe they would. I don't know. It depends on how they're played out. But the games are the same, and you can have like, if you have people in the league that have commercial free seasons paid for, you benefit from it, right? Because why would you have to? You could actually have a commercial free league. Maybe you even pay for it, and then when you open up your league, you can say this is a commercial free league, and people go, "Oh, I want to get in that one, so I don't have to watch commercials throughout the game." And by commercial free, I'm like ad free or whatever. I'm not talking about you would have to watch a 3-minute commercial. That's ridiculous. Some of these commercials are stupid. But like 1 30-second ad, or in this case, you'd be watching it for whatever game or whatever. So, and then like, there's different places where ads would pop up, and you can just pay to get rid of those is one option. I'd like to also have visual options that might help. I mean, to borrow what do you call it? The greatest form of flattery is not impersonation. Replication? No. greatest form of flattery is forgery, theft. I don't know. Essentially, take something from Marvel Snap and like upgrade cards, not the abilities on the cards, but make them cooler. Maybe give them better borders, flashier appearances, brighter colors, things you can do to just kind of make your team stand out. You know, give those cool borders and just really decorate it. Now, of course, this is stuff that's going to take somebody other than me. So if I want to get my cards to start doing stuff like that, so I'm going to design this game to the best of my ability, and then where it goes from there is going to have to come down to other things. But let's see if I can get it going. So I'm thinking, graphically speaking, it's going to look pretty similar to action PC football. So if that's ugly to you, sorry. That's about my level of graphics capability. I want to make it cleaner, less busy. But that thing, because that thing's got a ton of menus and a ton of options. I mean, when you think about it, that game says if you want to be able to do it, it probably gives you a way to do it. And there's both good and bad behind that, because it's a lot of fiddly stuff. It's going to really take up a lot of your time and not allow you to play. Because my idea is like, you shouldn't have too much fiddliness. And perhaps maybe we provide a little bit more options, like maybe if you want to buy certain modules or certain things to do, you can have that be as one of your free-to-play options. But it's not a standard, and it's not going to affect the game that much. Like maybe you want to go in and change all the names of your teams and players, and we'll give you that ability. Or maybe you want to, I don't know, set images or whatever. You have the options available to you. We're going to give you that kind of stuff as part of the system. But it's all a matter of trying to make the base game for a football fan who just wants to have a game where they can enjoy the simulation. And you can watch the game. I mean, you could just say simulate. Like you build your coaching profile and you go simulate and just watch how your team performs. And then it'll do the same kind of things that theirs does. Like if it shows the play, it shows who got the ball, who made the tackle, and the average success rate of the plays. Now there are a couple of games out there I saw that kind of do something like that, but it would say like, I forgot what kind of details it gives you, but you want to be able to look at a specific play and go, this play did this. And it got called 5 times, and it had these results. And I noticed that one of the games I was watching does that, but it only had like one play. Like in this scenario, it only ever called the one play. And it says this is what the success rate was. This against this defense, this is what this play did. And it happened 6 times during the game. And this one happened, and it would only be like 5. And I don't know if it's because they only had 5 plays called or they only do 5 different things. But I want to go down to the individual play levels, and then you can kind of look at that play's history. Click on it, go, ooh, that play's been averaging 0.1 yards or 0.5 yards of play. That's not very good. And it shows against this defense, this is what it's done. Against this kind of defense. And again, you can't really predict what they ran because you don't know. Because in theory, you can just say maybe against a blitz formation, or a blitz and this formation, this kind of general, like you'll have general information, but you won't know what that play was called. Other teams may have different variations of that same play, or they have a blitz that uses corners or whatever, but you know it was a blitz because guys came in from multiple directions. And certain things to keep in mind is maybe it'll keep stats of like who made the tackle, the name of the person, and his position. So you're like, oh, we're getting hit a lot by the corners. Corner. Or maybe it was just one guy had a field day with you because he was the superstar CB on their team and he kept blitzing and you couldn't get away from him. So, but you can kind of see, you can kind of look at have various graphs and charts to kind of see what's going on, and you can nitpick your team, build your playbook. Say, this play just doesn't work, or this play's been having a field day. Let's up the amount of times we call that. And then you got to start putting in some AI that starts making responses to that. And that's the ultimate goal, is to put an AI that's smart enough to adjust to a frequency it will play. And all that stuff's going to be in my game. All that stuff I can do. That is my brain, that is my logic, and it is functionally possible to make those kind of adjustments in a system. I believe you can implement AI, but I don't know AI. I don't understand AI programming very well, and I don't know how complex it is, and I don't know if that's applicable. But if I could give like little teeny bits of AI skill to each player, bam, I'd be all over it. But what is that AI engine? I'm curious. Let's do a quick look. I don't even know where to start. What is an AI engine? Building AI models? Oh, see, that's what you got to do, models. Build an AI-driven solution, online programming. Can you imagine having AI have a AI logic for like the quarterback or defensive back? To be honest, I think running backs and receivers, sort of, you might need lesser amounts of AI because their job is run this route, run this thing, break tackles, and get to the end zone. I mean, it's pretty basic. You got the ball, get out there, get open. Not do a lot of decision making because they're told this is the route, because the quarterback needs to know where you're going. Alexa, turn off Red Tornado. Alexa, turn off Red Tornado. I'm feeling cold air from something. Alexa, turn on heater. Let's up the grades here. So, drive business innovation, AI with essential skills. Build for professional aspiring to use Gen AI to solve business problems. I guess I would need to do like some serious AI learning, just because I don't know what an AI model looks like and what it is you're doing. AI foundation models, generative AI. And a lot of them it's used for business a lot. So I don't know. I mean, I would like to create an AI model for like a game, but I would like to break it down, and maybe that's too slow. I mean, AI is pretty fast. I mean, if you think about it, you can ask a question and bam, it's got an answer. And I don't know that there's that many factors to consider. I just want to know how you implement time into video games. It's like if your guy's moving, right? You want your quarterback, you want to be able to associate speed in players so that they're in adjustment with each other. But maybe a quarterback wants to hit a guy here, or here, or here, or here on the field, and he's got to be able to associate where the defender is. And so you've got to be able to calculate. You have to give them some kind of a feel of where is open, because like if the quarterback waits too long to throw the ball, like if you're playing it right, and you see a guy running down the field, you want to throw to him. Well, the play may have had him stop here, but of course he keeps going, and you might throw to him over here. Well, would an AI do that, or would the player not continue to move? And if he does continue to move, where is he? How does the game know to still consider him wherever he is? And you've got to have logic, like for the receiver, to make adjustments. You know, does he stop and try to do this bit, or does he wiggle around and try to get open? Is there some set response when the play is over that the quarterback can try to throw? Maybe the quarterback's forced to scramble, everybody's out of position now, and now he's just looking for an open guy. And the play's kind of broken, right? Your guys are kind of out there, but they're not where they were originally going to be because you missed that. They're no longer in that spot. So you may have a guy streaking down the field. You may have a guy, like if you know your arm isn't good for 60, like a quarterback should know that, well, I can't throw that far. He's gotten out of my range. Or, I can't, you got to look at where all the players are on the field. How do you make that adjustment for time and space? That's kind of where I'm struggling. I don't understand how that's done. And it's a learning thing. I'm sure there's a a strategy in that. Like I was watching the Action PC 24, and it looks pretty much like they don't consider any of that. They just have players go somewhere and act a certain way, and maybe that kind of stuff can be fudged. It's like you throw the ball and there's an end result, but when you smooth it out, you turn it into a video game where you can see the visuals. Maybe that's what I'm kind of losing in my mindset. You've got to have you play it, you throw it. The game doesn't really care where they're at. I mean, it does because that's how he decides who's who. But when it's actually played out, it's like, okay, well, he's throwing here, and that means the receiver has to make X adjustment, and if he's throwing there, he's making Y adjustment, because the target zones, he actually, in my board game logic, he doesn't throw to exactly where the receiver's at. He throws in front of him, around him, based on his accuracy, right? And so there is a adjustment zone for the receiver, and has a lot to do with different things that I have kind of built up in there, but ultimately it's there. And so I'm building my game off of my board game, this game off of the board game, because I want it to act and function similarly, but coming up with that fluidity that comes with wanting to show the play. If you see Action PC Football 24, or I think it's something, maybe it's PC Football, Action PC Football 24, yeah. There is some fluidity in it. They have been upgrading that apparently. I've looked at the 22 version, the 24 version. I didn't buy them, but and you can buy seasons of stats, which I kind of like that too. You can get, but I'm gonna implement that differently. I don't know. I think, yeah, getting the full season, maybe that's an option. You can buy a full season of players, but you can also just earn players throughout the free play. That's what my goal is. I mean, you can still get everybody. I don't want anything, with the exception of maybe some fancier stuff, cosmetic stuff, to be unavailable to players. I think everybody's going to get access to everything, and even the cosmetics to some extent. They're just going to be really hard, really rare to get certain things. It takes more work for free players to get these things, but it doesn't affect the gameplay. You can still build your team and set up your coaching profile and simulate against these guys, but maybe you just want your team to look cooler while it's doing it, right? You're going to show your player cards, and I've got a lot of good ideas. Okay, I got a lot of ideas. They may not all be good, but ultimately the idea is I want to have I'm coming up with a lot of features, and I think additionally there is the design aspect of, you ask me, why are you rolling up your sleeves? You're wearing a short sleeve. I'll tell you why, because it bugs me. The sleeves just sliding up and down on my arm, I don't know, they bother me, so I roll them up a bit to make them stay in place. I don't know. I move my arm and it slides up, and it just, yeah, I don't know. It's a quirk. Okay, I have a quirk. Sorry, can't help it. I'm quirky. Anyway, I would love to come up with like chatbots and virtual assistants, conversational analysts, employee assistant, productivity and creativity, personalization, code generation. So this is kind of like what you ChatGPT, right? Creates code. Chatbots and virtual assistants, streamline customer self-service and reduce operational costs by automating customer service queries. Yeah, I always hate that. Oh, I hate those. I hate virtual assistants, customer service AI. Hate it. Hate it. 99% of the time it's crap. I understand it costs. It saves money for the business. I get it. And if it can answer the question, but rarely does it answer my questions. Because I don't ask. If the answers the AI can give you, I probably have already researched myself. I've already got that. The only reason I'm going to a person is because it's not something that's just generative. Now there's other people who may not. They just go straight to the AI, and then they might be the question. Analyze unstructured customer feedback to identify key topics, detect sentiment, and surface emerging trends. No. Harness power of generative AI for deeper audience insights, dynamic content, and personalized interactions. I don't know. Automate tasks. Enable your workforce to generate more ideas. Complete work faster and focus on higher value tasks. I think that kind of logic might work. In fact, that might be the best way, because it's like, what is a chess engine? A chess engine is when it goes to write what moves to pick. It basically ranks the moves. It says, okay, this one's got the most going for it, right? It looks deep. It says this one's going to have this, and under all the circumstances I can think of the other person doing, because the more advanced I get, the further and deeper it can go. The more beneficial this spot is, right? It sees that as this is the best solution. It's going to rank all the options, and it does it quickly. Now, I think, and then it picks the highest value option. Maybe it'll pick a second one as another good option, and you'll get certain variations of what best options are there in the event that you're programming that particular item. So I think that same logic could be applied to a football game. In fact, to some extent, it probably is. I don't know what kind of AI, what kind of logic they put in there, but ultimately you want your players to have kind of an AI, or at least certain players. I think defenders need an AI, and I think a quarterback needs an AI. But to some extent, so do other players. I mean, like, what is, like, if you have your offensive line set up to block, well, there's got to be a decision process in which guy am I going to block, right? There's got to be something that says, okay, so we need to be aware of who's coming at us. And if maybe you have various versions of your AI complexity, and that goes with the intelligence or skill of the player. So you might go, okay, just like a chess engine, right? You can play a chess engine and have it set to only go two turns deep. That's like a beginner type thing, right? I mean, he's only capable of seeing what you do and what they do back. That's all. So it's the extent of the actions. And it's, of course, going to make a lot of mistakes, because that's not, for one, it thinks half the possible moves are good, right? It's going to go, oh, these are all good moves, because I'm not available. I don't look deep enough. That would be like a rookie / low football intelligence, or whatever it is, football player trying to decide how they're gonna respond. Now, a really skilled, high awareness, good intelligent player might look at all the possibilities. Okay, well, there's this defensive back here and him back there, and he can quickly assess, I'm going to block A, but if that guy moves towards us, I will, I will tap my guy on the shoulder or whatever here and say he's going to block that, and you're going to set up a block that picks that guy up. You might say, I've got that guy. He's got this guy, and you kind of just know what's the best solution. And you might have every player assign themselves to a person. And then the person who doesn't have someone, he drops back, or he helps with the blocker next to him. That's the assessment. It's like there might be a less intelligent blocker instead of, like, say, a run who's getting ready for or pass defense is getting ready for pass protection. He backs up, waits for anybody to come to him. But he might, a smart one says, well, nobody came to me. Let's assist the guy to the right, or my guy to the left, or whoever's got the other guy. So we add blocking defense on whoever's there. Some guys might not be bright enough or quick enough to that. They just get back and they're just waiting for a block, waiting for someone to come along. Maybe that guy breaks free and comes and hits him, but whatever way, he's just ready, but he's not really helping. He's not picking anything up because he's not, oh, wait, I should be assisting and blocking that dude, you know, unless, of course, you've got some kind of, game plan that says, make sure you block this guy or whatever. So anyway, that's what I'm saying. You want AIs in there to help players decide what they're going to do in a given situation. Like maybe you give them all defaults. It's the dummy action. It's like Pee Wee football. You do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. But then after that, you start triggering their AI. What are they going to do in response to the situation? And the same could go for running plays. What are your receivers going to do? Are they going to run their route? Are they going to help block? Maybe they're designed to block, but what happens when they've made their block? Do they just sit there and do that? They'll let the guy go? How do they respond? Do they try to find another person to block? Do they run interference? What are they going to do? So that's what I'm talking about. You're talking about having little pieces of AI. I'd say it's simple, but you kind of want every player to have their thing, and you have to kind of know. And when you have conflicting AI, right, the defense is trying to do X, and the offense is trying to do Y to stop the offense, the conflicting AI has to be constantly adjusting because, oh, I'm going to block that guy. Oh, wait, that guy just ran across the field. Well, I'm not going to chase him down because we got guys over there to deal with it. So I'm going to stay here and try to block, or I'm going to try to get open here. So yeah, it's what kind of AI logic are you going to have for every character, and how complex is that? And is it too much for the code? What exactly are you trying to accomplish with each player so that it can look and flow smoothly, right? Because that's kind of the end goals for everything to look like an actual play. And I think Action PC Football is a great app. I think it leaves too much to the player, I think. And it does, or to the player of the game rather than to the player of the players. I mean, you're saying, for one, it doesn't have plays. There are no plays. It says, take this formation, have these guys do this. Like you might say, these three guys blitz. So you're basically creating plays on the fly. So it's not like these guys know the play. It's like, hey, it'd be like playing, what do they call it? Backyard football. There used to be a game called Backyard Football. It's cool. It's a bunch of kids playing, and they would. It was actually a pretty good game. But it was Backyard Football something, and it was just a bunch of animated kids playing. I think it was like 4-on-4 or something like that. But these kids had like superpowers. I mean, like they'd be super fast or great. I mean, it had some pretty cool features, but it wasn't like real football. But anyway, I digress. Ultimately, what you want is that same kind of feel. With that game, it's like, well, I'm creating the play on the fly. These guys are going to blitz. These guys are going to do this. The blocking is kind of weird because it doesn't look like anybody's blocking. It just has, if it's a pass, these guys drop back and these guys move forward. And then if somebody comes near them, they tackle them, or maybe they tackle them. Sacks are possible. I don't know how that's built into the game. It happens. I saw guys getting sacked when I was watching the demo. If the blitzers are doing it, maybe, but I don't fully understand how the linemen are doing anything. It's kind of weird. But anyway, it's plays on the fly. I don't want to do that. I want to pick plays because that's how a coach works, right? You say, run this play. And all the logic for the play is already there. And this way you can go, well, with that, it'd be harder to say, well, how are things doing? When I do this, so I would have to say, well, when you run 2 blitz and the 4-5 defense and blah, 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 this has been your results. And defense has the same potential options. And hopefully you want to say, how is this play done against the pass? How is it done against the run, even though it's designed for the pass? Because that's kind of crucial too. I mean, you have a pass defense, great. Maybe it's shutting down and passes, great, but you get nailed every time they run the ball because you don't have things covered. And maybe that's because you have certain guys up front that aren't making tackles because they're not good enough. I don't know. You start seeing them run right by a guy. It's like, these guys miss their tackles. These guys miss their tackles. Maybe that's an important thing. You want to keep track of who's missing their tackles. Keep in mind, my game won't keep track of assists, but if it's always the best guy in the spot that's going to make the tackle. Sorry, best guy gets the credit. So if you've got like superstar lineman or a linebacker comes up against a run and he gets an assist from two linemen who are just part of the line, he makes the tackle. Those linemen don't get any credit. I mean, they don't get any negatives from it. It might be like so and so makes an assisted tackle, but or maybe it's a solo tackle if he does it within his own stats. But if he needs the assists that came with it, he gets an assisted tackle. And maybe the players get assists. I don't know. Maybe that's the thing. But they only get the assist if the guy didn't make it on his own. So it's not really fair, right? Because it's like, wait a minute, I was there. He said, yeah, but he pretty much had it. He didn't need you. So that's kind of, I think that'll be a good way to keep track of it. So, and sometimes the lineman's the only guy there, so he gets to make the tackle on his own. He makes it. Or maybe there's two linemen there and one of them's better, so he gets the credit. But the better player is going to get the credit, and the other player gets the assist, even though it's not fair. I mean, there's only so much you can do, right? I mean, you can't give them both assists. I mean, I guess you could, but I mean, I would guess if a player assist is needed, then it's both players get the assist, or both players get an assist. And you're always making an assisted tackle. It's considered an assisted tackle. Still, there's no such thing as solo tackle, assisted tackle, and assist. It's solo tackle and assisted tackle. That's all there is. Or I think they track assisted tackles. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. So that's it's a non-question. So anyway, so I was looking at AI. I don't know if I need AI. I don't know if things are that complex. I think the quarterback stuff is pretty complex, especially when he drops back for a pass and he's got to decide when to run away, when to try to find a person, where to throw the ball to. There's a lot of stuff going on there. Maybe the quarterback needs to have an AI. But most other players' decisions are kind of You need basic AI stuff. What's your response to this situation or that? But most of the time, it's pretty basic. And I don't know. I wouldn't have any idea how to render that in real-time animation anyway. Because, again, I'm already struggling with the whole premise in my mind of how does this look in how do you assign actions to time? Play only takes 6 seconds to run. A long bomb's going to take a little bit longer, but ultimately there's a lot going on. And I don't know. Action PC football supposedly has network play or internet play. I don't know how well it works. I don't know anything about that stuff because I haven't played the game. I've heard it's pretty good. Check it out if that's kind of your thing. If you like the in-depth stuff and the play calling that they do, I think it's it might be the best statistical based football game that I have seen so far, having not played it. But I think it's the best I've seen so far. I don't necessarily think it is ideal yet, but I'm not sure. In their model, for one, you pay for the game, and paying for the game, it's not free to play, and you get basic stuff, or whatever level you spend will get you more team or more seasons, more stuff to go with it, and obviously it's got some following. A lot of people out there playing it. I'm not totally sure on the setup for how they do leagues, and I think it doesn't really do official leagues. There may be leagues, and you bind them to a season, and it might generate something. Um, but I'm planning a different strategy for distribution. So I'll let you know that when I get closer. I already have, like I said, all this stuff. A lot of this stuff has already been designed and defined, and actually is the full structure of a game that exists, short of being ready to be productioned. It's not ready for production because a board game has to look pretty, and I haven't got the looks. I have the looks. My game doesn't have the looks. So, anyway, let's get back to it. So here's what I did over the weekend. Um, I refactored several parts of the system that I had been writing out. For one, I took the coaching pieces out that decide what kind of play and put it into a coaching component. Coaching component right now is just random. It's doing either run or pass, or extra point or 2-point conversion, or field goal or punt. These are kind of the decisions it's making, right? So it's making certain types of play call decisions. Now, the only reason I pass run two or pass two for a 2-point conversion versus a run or pass is that's to let the actual play know that we're running a 2-point conversion and not just a 2-yard run at the end zone, because the points that it generates are going to be different, and it needs to know that in order to generate those points, because the play result returns the points. So that's why I'm using this. I also refactored the calling drive component, greatly simplified this, took out a bunch of code, reduced how many times we're calling things or all the conditions. All of it's down to now this is our entire play call. And then all we're doing is setting up the information that's going to be stored and sent back, or we advance the play marker and the yards to go for a first down, and then we iterate through, assuming that's the end result. So much simpler, much more direct to the point. I moved the points generated to the actual play execution. Here there's some randomizations too that ultimately should come out and become part of the play execution. Right now, all the randomizations are basically based on these numbers, which will allow me to change my randomization values, because right now I know that my game doesn't produce very many touchdowns. I mean, like very few, like one. I don't even know if I've ever seen 2 touchdowns in a game, or if I did, I didn't notice it, or I don't remember it in the current iteration. So the teams are having real hard trouble advancing far enough that they get a move down the field with any kind of success. So I got to tweak those numbers, but I'm not worried about that right now. That's kind of neither here nor there at the moment. And I did the same thing with the special teams component, or special teams plays component, where I broke it down and pulled out the some of the this. I think I have it compressed here. I feel like it's compressed. I feel like we're missing stuff on the special teams part. Oh no, I guess it's because I'm at the bottom. We basically have 3 sections. We have the field goal, we have the punt, we have the kickoff. These are they're all kicking plays, right? Field goal, punt, extra point, kickoff. What are the results of the various kicks depending on the distance and where they're going to end up? Then there's some calculations for kickoff. Where did the ball land? Blah, blah, blah. So those are my refactors. I didn't do a ton other than to make sure that I was passing back the yards at the points that are generated. This way, in Ultimate, I did not get to refactor the quarter. There's not a lot in the quarter, right? The quarter is going to call the drives that are involved in the quarter. It's going to keep track of what points were scored for the quarter. But I don't think there's any reason for me to even put out anything from the quarter, except at the end. Like we might have game summary piece at the end that says points scored per quarter. So I want to put that stuff out, but it's not going to be like the primary. So here's the game result piece. Now the game result, the way it was, is I was calling parts from the quarter and calling parts from the drive, and it was just it wasn't allowing me to do what I want here. So I got like item and I have data. I'm going to change this up. I'm actually going to take all of the quarter output stuff and take it out. And then I'm going to build up what amounts to a straight up score scenario. So I want to pick a look that I want, and we're going to put up things like I want to be able to do outputs of changing of stats, but right now, we pass back a drive, and then the drive outputs, and the drive is going to have all the plays in it. And really, that's all we're doing. We're just reading plays. What plays came back from this drive? That we're going to put them out. We're going to update various locations on the page, hopefully, with each play, which means we're going to have. I'm hoping to have various values update as they change, as we get new pieces of information. So what I think is like I'll have maybe a use effect that takes the drive, and then we just keep updating. We run a update play, and that should trigger a use effect that will rewrite the fields. I'm hoping. So we keep changing certain values. Maybe we're adding to some, we're subtracting from others, but ultimately the goal is that we continue to update what's there, and then it just, every time it changes, every time we put the fields out. So we're going to start off with certain values in there, and I'm thinking that's how React's supposed to work, right? When you change a value, it can update as it goes. And I'm shooting for that. Shooting for that. Got too many stuck S's in my lips. All right, so let's get to it. Currently, I don't think the code is working. Again, I've got it in a state of I haven't tested the latest run, so I'm thinking things are going to blow up. But that's fine. Let's kind of get things going. We'll let it iron out as I go. Hopefully, my refactoring wasn't too invasive. But we've got to totally restructure stuff. So first and foremost, we're going to run the quarter. Now we have the log event. So when we set drive data, we have an event that fires, that triggers off of drive data changing. Oh, set drive data is creating drive results, I believe. Set drive results. Okay, so it's drive results that's changing. So we have drive results down here that's going to trigger whenever, theoretically, when drive results changes. So every time a drive comes in, this fires. And then we have to iterate through the drive results. So we got drive results plays, current play index, current play index is greater than or equal to drive results.plays.length. So basically we're making sure we don't do anything if we don't have these values. And then they're doing a map where they're dropping out the plays or the information on the play. So data.length, and then we just drop out the play. And then the index is the play at which we're putting out. I'm thinking I'm with my current knowledge of use effect, it's better. It's getting better how things work in my understandings. But when we have drive results change, we have to be able to set the values that are going to be on the field. And I'm wondering, And they are doing delays, which is fine. We want the intervals. So we have set current play index, constant set interval, set current play index, if next play, return next index. See, I don't know if that works because I'm wondering, well, maybe. I think what ultimately I need to do is simplify this. So the setup for this is kind of weird. So I want to do, I need to have a visual of a field. Let's go with a game scoreboard. We want to have, that's why I wanted to use my Jumbotron image. I think I'm going to visualize that in my head. So on the left, we're going to have our we got table header, and then we got table body, which I think the header is just going to be table data. So we're going to have quarter. I don't need this right now. We're going to get rid of quarter. I think I may have quarter, but I'm not going to put it in right there. That might be something like, I need a visual. I need something to lay out, some kind of structure. Hey, look, my computer's supposed to show up today. That's what it says. It said it's on the vehicle. That's what was the last I checked. It's out for delivery. Woohoo! But it's not going to get here till sometime tonight. But finally, and now I can pack it up again and send it back to him. But it's going to get her so late, I won't be able to send it back till tomorrow. Blah. All right. It's besides the point. Okay. My Surface Pro, which is where I run most of my stuff normally, but I've been working off of this desktop system, which is like 14 years old, and it's got a good video card in it. That's about all I can say for it. I need to upgrade it. Maybe put an SD drive in it. I don't know if that would help or not, but okay. Let's see here. I need okay, let's go NFL score banner. I don't know, something like that. See, like these ones. See how these have these? They're all different, but they have different ways to look, and that's kind of like what I'm going for. Something of a. This is Thursday Night Football score banner. See, it does. It's got first. I don't know if that's, it must be first quarter. They put the it must be Thursday Night Football is Prime, right? So Amazon Prime puts their smile over here. This is their records. That's kind of cool. So that's an interesting setup, and I like the idea. So I could like quarter one, and then here be like I put down. Yeah, all right. Let's structure. First, let's structure the output to look like this. Okay, so I'm gonna pick this one because why not? I mean, there's a ton of them, and I'm not doing it to look exactly the same because, for one, I don't care about it that much. Oh, weird. You can't just click on it, can you? So if you click on it, it takes you to the next one, I guess. It's not really helpful. Whoa, there's a lot of them. But that don't help me. I just wanted to have, just the image. Save image as, we'll say sample score banner NFL. And sure, it's not downloads. I don't care. So we're going to go here, and I'm just going to open it up because I'm not going to copy the same. I'm not going to have any graphically. I'm just going to have a similar layout. I'll probably put some extra things in because I want more information to show up for my game. I'm guessing it's tiny. Oh, it's not too bad. We're going to do something like that. Okay. And then we'll close that up. And we don't need this anymore. Okay, so this is going to be our sampler. Oh, let's make my screen bigger, man. Just so you can see all of the fun that's on my screen at once. Okay, so now I won't have anything hiding. Create videos in minutes using customizable templates. Why do you think this is a video scenario? Let's close this. All right, so we're going to try to lay this out. So essentially what we're going to want is, I guess we could just go table body. We don't necessarily need a header. Header would be like if I want to do something specifically, as a whole row is bold or something, but I don't need that. So let's go ahead and do something like this. So our table, if it's just, now we're talking about just what's basically going to be there. This is not even going to be the whole game result. There's no other visuals going on. There's no output other than just score, right? So we're just going to do the first things. We're going to update certain values, see if we can get all the way through that. So our first item will be the team name. So we're going to go TD in here. We're going to go we Okay, we'll do that. All right, so we're going to go here and we're going to go, wait, let's actually make this a little different. Let's just call this T-body. We're going to start with this because this is my first bit. There you go. I know there's another T-body there, but we're going to have, we don't need quarter here. All right, but we do have team 1 and team 2, which is definitely going to be defined in here. But there, between those, we will put our scores. And we'll say, now this is going to be I want to have, now any variable that's outside, I'm wondering if, all right, let's say if we update the play, so if we have the use effect, update a value inside the use effect, do we have to have another use effect that actually updates the value on here? It's like, or will that change it there? I am not sure. How is it doing it here? So when it comes in, we're having these plays update, and that's item game state. I'm trying to figure out. See, it doesn't look like there's a use effect. Define. Oh, here. Oh no, that's simulate quarter. That's the actual call to the quarter that's going to do its job. So what we want is, I'm wondering if I should go back to having my drive results go into an array. So this way I can read through each play. And then if we set the score, maybe we just set the score every time. I mean, it's going to add +0 plus blah, blah, blah. But set current play index. And all that is changing an index of the play. I don't know why. What are they doing with the index? Oh, because it's pulling it out of the array of values. See, I'm wondering if we can't just set the current play, and then these values would update as a result of changing them. And you just say this equals this, this equals this, equals this, and you just set the current play. And then you might have, I don't know, having a delay between setting the current play. That's almost what I feel like is better. Because if you set the current play, that triggers a change. And as a result, we actually write out that change. Right? Say yes. Say yes, Internet. So I'm gonna try and do this. We're gonna change the ID. We're gonna go current team. Well, team 1, team 2 are gonna be fixed. We're gonna go in here. We're gonna say score. We're gonna change the team 1 score. Item dot team 1 total score. And then in the middle of all this nonsense, we're going to, let's see, I want it to be 1, 2, I'm thinking 4. Look, they even have timeouts on there. That's kind of cool. Huh. Interesting. All right. Well, anyway, we're going to go with 1, 2, 3. 3 rows. Okay, so we're going to say, whoa, is there something broken here? There's something definitely broken here. Oh yeah, we're missing a closing tag. Is that allowed? Can you just go straight to a closing tag? No, weird. It's actually complaining that I put a closing tag on there. Oh, I see. That's in the middle. Never mind. Okay, row span equals 3. Oh, yeah, whatever. I don't know why you had to put a number in a quote. All right, we'll just row span all these. All these guys are going to go to a 3 because we want my score to look bigger. And my team names are going to be bigger. All right, and then we're going to have a team 2 total score. So we'll have shift as we refactor this entire layout because I need it to be better. Now in the middle of this, we're going to have, let's put another one in. We're just going to have some text right here. We're going to say football simulator. I'm going to call it 25 by the time I even get to the next page, but we're going to call it Football Simulator 24. That works. And then that one's going to be a row span. That one's only going to row span 1. we're not gonna have a span on that one. Now row spans can be difficult to work with, right? Because when you do this, your row goes bzz, bzz, and then the next row only fills in the spots that aren't being row spanned. So you have to you have to, I'm pretty sure that if you go table row and it's saying row span and you put in something, it's going to go into the spots that are open for that row, right? Because it's row spanning, so your stuff is going to stretch out. It's going to push everything from the next row over. So we don't, it's just going to be kind of weird. I don't have a team record yet. I don't care. My teams aren't playing that often. But I do like the premise, and I may stick that in there at some point. But I do like the idea of having the records on there, so you can see how good a team's doing. Maybe if I decide to get this, if I get this simulation going well enough, that I can run a season, and it'll just go through and play out all the players, all the seasons. Might be kind of fun to try, but we're not there yet. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next row now. Now, in the next row, we're going to try to put in table row. How come it didn't? Come on. Oh, it is there. Jeez, why is it way the heck over there? So where's that at? Okay. So now we got to put what's going to go in the middle. We're going to say TD. Oh, let's just paste this puppy. But in here, we'll say item. I don't know where I'm getting current quarter index. I think current quarter index is somewhere. Current play. We have game state. Game state. I could try to read game state. I don't know if it's gonna. I don't want arrays. Is that not? That's okay. That's not array. I want things that I can just change, and the game state will just say current quarter index. Okay, so we're gonna say game state. I don't know. We're gonna find out what changes, what doesn't. Delete. We'll see. Game state dot current quarter. All right, so we have the current quarter. And then we need time. I like that. Time. Shift home. And do we have dot time remaining? Dot time. Nope. We don't have time remaining. Current quarter, log out, start drive to the quarter time. Quarter time? Is that what I'm updating? Am I subtracting from quarter time? Oh, it is quarter time. So we must be updating quarter time somewhere. Current quarter, quarter time, starting time for next quarter. Oh, because the quarter comes back and provides that. That's not going to work. Because that's the total drive that's the total drive result. What I should probably do is update quarter time. I could do this, but quarter time is going to keep ticking with my so maybe not set it here, but wherever I do end up setting it, I need to pull it from that action. So I need to update my quarter time. Let's try it. But quarter time is not formatted at all. It's just how much time is left. So, I mean, I guess it's just 15 minutes time in seconds. No, I guess that's fine. All right, let's go down here. So we're going to say, we'll say quarter time, game state, quarter time. I'm just going to have to update it at a different interval. I think the logic here is either I just add concatenation or I can do the the weird thing. This is kind of weird because you could turn this into a string. I think it's like if you do an accent, this guy, and then you go. I forgot how to do it. Is it like this? It's supposed to go. Oh, I think it's accent. Oh, gosh dang it. Where's accent? $? I thought it was supposed to turn into a red. It turns red, but I must not be doing it right. Let's just do the way I know. Again, this is my learning. Obviously hasn't quite taken into effect. All things. Oh, quarter time, it should be dot minutes. And then this one's going to have to be the same thing, dot seconds. All right. We got our minutes dot seconds. And so we got that. That should put that into the next spot. So we got that, but we got to call span these puppies too, because I have another value I want to put into the next slot. So we got 2. So that'll make them take up X amount of space inside of my banner. And then next, we want to do another row. And we want to put these guys, this one in here. Now, what this is going to be is, basically this is this box. I want to work on this box now. So we've got the header, we've got the quarter and the time, and what they did is make this extra big and it takes up 2 rows. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to have mine take up 1 row, and then of course this isn't a UI, this is just an image, so, but they do have it updating, so this is what a picture of their images look like. But they're inserting this stuff into the output. So I don't think these aren't, like, if it's during the game, right, this stuff is constantly changing, or at least these values are. So they're blank. Unfortunately, finding these kind of images blank, so I can just throw it down and use it. I want to steal their image, but just for my purposes, it's not like I'm gonna. I wouldn't distribute it that way. I'd probably have to come up with my own banner image, ultimately. Okay, so we've got our 3. Then we've got our second 2, and now we've got to do what amounts to a 1. These guys aren't going to have any row span. Actually, not true. I got to put my other stuff up here. So what I'm thinking is, I want to mark down the down, or maybe I just say down, and then I say first and 10, or first and something like that. That's what I'm thinking. So I want an extra row here, and we're going to just be a title again. This one doesn't take up any rows. Well, it takes up 1 row. So we don't need this. And then we'll just take all of this, and we'll just say down. Home. And then this one will also be only 1 row. I'm hoping this is going to go where I think it's going to go. I mean, based on call spans and row spans and all that nonsense, this guy should be okay, so we have drive results. Actually, I don't need current play dot. Now, I don't have a current play object, but it's going to basically be what current play provides. Oops. Nope. This is the structure of a play. It's right here. So we're going to have the play result, play time, yards to go. Oh, shoot. That's going to be tricky. I don't pass back the individual plays at all. Ever. I'd never pass back the drive. So say first, second, third, fourth down, that stuff never shows up on my quarter because I calculate all that stuff and I use it while it's going through generating what the plays are going to be, but I never send that information back. So I think I'm either going to have to set that info on my plays when they come in, and I need to set it to the current, right? So what do we want to show? Do we want to show what the next play is? Or do we want to show what the play is that's showing? So when we say, no, I think the play plays and when you show the play, the down marker or the down thing should show what the result of that play is. So if it's first down, it'll show the play and it'll change to second down during that play. So you'll be second down and then third down, then fourth down, but it'll always be the play updates the clock to the next down. So if you're showing a third down play result, it's going to change it to fourth or first, but it won't show third anymore because that's what happened. So it's got to be an iterative thing. Change one, the other, it updates. Change one, it updates. Change one. It could happen instantaneously because when somebody's reading one or the other, you're going to see the results. So the idea is that it's going to update. So I'm going to have to create the down, but thing is I don't provide that information to the play result. So I either have to assign it when the play comes back, provide it to the play result, so all it does is move it. It would have to calculate it and move it. But right now, it's not calculating that stuff. It doesn't even care. It's just looking at the end goal. Where are we in relation to a touchdown? So it's looking at yards to go. But yards to go is always the end zone. There's not a first down yards to go logic in each play because that's not its objective, and that means I'd have to have all kinds of stuff in there to go, well, does this push me over the first down mark, does this push me over the first down mark, and then have the play always have the play result, taking it out of the calculation of the drive. Now the drive needs to know if it needs to call another play. So theoretically I could have it just go, well, this calculates what down it's going to be, and then it just reads that and it goes, okay, well, I got to call another play. Hand that information off to the coaching component, which will make that decision. Really taking more and more away from the actual drive calculations, which might not be so bad because again, I want a lot of the logic and the mathing things out to be determined in an API. So the more I can componentize what's happening, the less I have to have things like this. Because if I have logic in my drive component, that's going to determine, that means every UI I create, like if I create it on a web page, if I create it in a mobile app, they all have to make the same calculation. Do I want it to do that? I'd rather them have to handle the output. That should be the only thing they do, is handle the output and provide the information that's provided from component results And also, do I want to have everything componentized, right? So is the drive going to be part of the API? Is the quarter going to be part of the API? Does the quarter just call an API and say call a drive, and then the drive goes and does all this stuff? If that's the case, I can leave stuff in the drive, and it's going to be there. Or maybe just the game result goes and starts calling quarters, and the quarters are in the API. It's going to come down to, do I want any UI elements to be affected by that component? Because the more I can push to the back end, the less the front end has to worry about anything, and the more it can just worry about cool layouts, making it look good and whatever. Have someone generate an AI that looks nice on top of it. But what happens in the event that, say for a simulation, that might work, but if I want this to ever get a pretty dressing, like actual players moving around in the field, that stuff's going to have to read the actual play pieces. So maybe the API has to make those pieces available to the game. Like, what are the players doing? How are they responding on the field? What are they doing on the field? Well, that's going to be UI elements, and that's going to have to come up to the UI, so the UI can go, okay, well, I need to read all of these UI elements and move guys around according to. I have to move them around according to where they are on the field. And oops, I have an idea. So yeah, there's an element to all that as well. So, but the more that's on the back end, the less my sim has to worry about. So how do I adjust? I can adjust time, but what I'm trying to figure out is the down. How do I do the down if the drive isn't tracking it? So I'm either going to have to pass back. I could have the drive just associate the down, but that does put a lot of logic into the drive. Right now, the drive's not doing anything except calling the plays that the coach is telling it to do. I could say coach decision, and then this be the coach. The coach's brain, coach brain. Because ultimately, this is just the offensive coach. He's deciding what play to call, right? I don't have a defensive coach. A defensive coach would have to know the same information, but this would probably be the offensive coach. I don't have any defensive coach information because I don't have any defensive response to anything happening here. The randomizer is the defensive response. Once I start implementing players, that's when the defensive response comes in. What defense do we want to have? And then that defense goes and calculates based on all those stats what kind of play do we want to call, and then that play would respond to it, and then the play execution has to call together the offense and the defense and calculate the result, and that's where we're going to be later. Right now, my defense is the randomizers. That's it. What was called, and what are the random options? That's the defense. So, okay, so I got to come up with first down. I got to get the down on there. Downs and down yards to go. They have to be passed in. So I either need to update play info, which comes back there. Do I have play info defined up here? I do. And I assume they're all the same name information. Hopefully. So we got play result, play exec. Dude, there's a lot of stuff play info we don't have. My play info does not match that at all. I got play result, I got play time, I got play description, and I got yards to go. But I've added yards on play. Oh, I changed the yards. Oh, there's no play result. I see. I changed it to yards on play. That's not even. That's going to be a bug. It's going to choke on that. But it's also because I have play result. So I have yards on play. Play result is actually whether or not there was points scored. No, I'm sorry. Play time, play description, new yards to go. No, play description, new yards to go. I thought I had to have a score on here. Yards on play. Did I not add a score? Play info points scored. Yeah, I didn't put that in. Play result. Probably want to do that. I created it. I knew I did that. That was part of what I did yesterday because I needed certain information. Gonna have to be points scored. Points scored, comma. All right, so we're gonna have to pull that information into my special teams play as well. I think this one even has. I think I even put points scored in here. Oh, I thought I did. Let's see. Play execution, commentator yards. Yards, fumble lost. Play execution, time fumble lost, yards to go, fair catch. Point distance. Did I not put points scored in there? Oh, man. I didn't even build it in there. I kind of must have got distracted and totally dropped the ball on that one. There's no points scored in here. And does play info get defined at the top? That I need to define it. Now look, I put points scored in there, but I didn't actually put it in the, I didn't put it in, I put it in the definition, but I didn't put it in the result. Oh, you know what it is? I'm setting it up here. That's what's going on. I set it right there. Points scored. And this one, probably doing the same thing. Yeah, points scored. So I'm setting it outside of this. That's what it is. So it is there. I just set it without going. I mean, I don't need this. It's already defined. Never mind, I already have it. It's just getting set prior to this. And I don't even know. This might break because I'm not setting it in there. If I was going to do it like this, I probably should have went play info, yards, play equals, play info, you play time equals, and done it that way so I could set them individually. But I don't know if you set it like this, I don't know if it'll let you do this name setting and only set the ones you want. There may be a previous or whatever options were already there option. So you just overwrite the new values. I don't know. But yeah, so I have points scored, but what I don't have, I would have to provide essentially this as my play info output. If I go back to my drive and I have this, which I need to make this guy change to have all those new parts in it, which is fine. So we're going to change play info, but if I need to have things like what down is it, like current down, and then first down yards to go, or yards to first down, I would have to pass that down. So I would have to say down, I'd have to add more values and go down. I don't like the name down. It just seems like play down or current down. Current down, and we'll call, and then we'll just say 1, and then we'll say yards to first down. We'll call it the same thing, and we'll just say 10 because by default it's going to be 10, the first thing. And then when we're down here, we have play info.points scored is what we're going to add that to the score. For the drive, if there are any points. But what we're going to have to do is set that on the play info ourselves. And that's going to have to be before we send it back. So, well, no, I mean, I guess we'll have it set, but on the last one it won't. But in the last one, do we need to change it? Because it's a scoring drive. It's the last thing we did. We either kicked it off, which will make it first and 10. What should I do, man? I'm starting to doubt that I should do it in drive at all. I'm starting to think I should just do it in the play. Because the play would have to have all this information. That's more information I need to pass into the play. Like, what down is it currently? And how many yards do we have to go to get a first down? And then the play has to make the decision at the end if we passed that result. And what is the current down marker when it comes back? So after all things are complete, what down are we looking at? Could be first and 10 for the other team because we kicked off. But I mean, it's not like it's that complex, I suppose. Yards to first down, we have to calculate it. If it changes, then it's, yeah, I mean, it's basically the same calculator I have here. It's still it's still calculating the drive yards, but on an individual play purpose, what down is it might be able to be generated. So the drive wouldn't even pay attention to the down. All it cares about is how many points were scored on the drive and the overall drive result. It's really reducing what's needed. It's like I wouldn't even need to do like, why would I? Because like the quarter's going to track. But if we're taking the scores from the actual plays, what do we need a drive score for? Because it's going to only have what it has. And theoretically, it's possible to have 2 scores in a quarter or 2 scores on a drive because I have kickoffs and punts well, punts won't do anything, but like a field goal has a kickoff, or a touchdown has a kickoff. And or a touchdown could be two scores. It could be the touchdown and the extra point. And so, yeah, I mean, I guess we do add that into that, and the drive will have the total result. But what happens when it's like a kickoff return for a touchdown? A 7 and a -7 ends up being 0. So we don't. So it's like, wait a minute. No, they scored 7, yes, but then they kicked off a return for a touchdown. They scored 6. It would be a wrong total just to add them together. So yeah, we don't even want to. We don't even want score on our drive at all, because it's coming. We're going to take that from. Now our drive length can't include the kickoff. When do I have score result? Oh, that's the time. Oh, okay, I don't have that. So that's just the time left. How long did the drive take? Which is fine. We mapped that out. The drive will calculate that. Number of plays. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Sure, we'll keep that. I mean, not that you can't calculate that later on your own by reading the same value, but at least it's there. It's a simple read. And next drive, yards to go, which is basically, we've handed it off to the other team. How far do they have to go? And the plays themselves will identify whether it's 1st and 10. So yeah, let's get rid of the score on the drive. So we have 1, 2, only 3 values come back on the drive. 1, 2, 3. Right? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So yeah. So we're going to return 3 values: the length of the drive and time, the number of plays. And this is really just for like end of game mechanics. Or it's actually subtracting from the quarter time. But a lot of that, I think I'm just going to be subtracting using the play time. So I don't know if I'm going to use that value, but I'm going to have it for now. So yeah, we're going to be checking. I'm going to really be testing these use effects. That's for sure. My knowledge of use effect. Okay. So now we have to decide what to do with first down. I think we have to say what down it's going to be in the end result. So it means I got to pass another value back, which means now my play info is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Let's simplify this. So additionally, we're going to also provide, what was it? What did I say? Play down, yards to first down, and offensive down. Offensive down, 1, and yards to first down. By default, and then we'll change all that stuff. Okay, so now we're providing all those values as separate items, but I'm wondering if I could just, since I'm providing so much of this information, do I need variables? Yards to go is getting read a lot, so maybe that's important. But we do all of our stuff. This is our decision on offensive play. Why do we need this? If the play call is this, 2.2. Oh, I guess. Oh, I guess because if we scored, the yards to go would be 0. And so if it's a 2-point call, we have to put it on the 2 if they decided to go for the whatever, the play. Because the coach doesn't adjust any of that. So we'd have to adjust for a 2-point play, putting it on the 2-yard line. So that's what that is. Set up yards to go for play. Put ball on 2-yard line if going for 2-point conversion. Okay. All right, so we have that. So we're setting yards to go here, but then we do that, we execute, we get our score, that whatever it was, we're going to have score result dot score equals play info dot point score. See that? Yeah, I'm getting rid of that altogether. That's not even a thing. That's too many situations where that's not going to be helpful. And do I have another score result dot score? I don't think so, because I've been cleaning this up. I don't have a lot of replication of lines anymore. So I don't, because yeah, okay, so I don't have, that was the whole thing, cleaning it up so I'm not recalling the same thing over and over and setting it if I don't need to. If I can do it once, it's ideal. So makes things faster, a little bit more clean, easier to follow. So we got score results at play. We're going to push the play info, and in that, we're going to need to provide information. Now, we don't need to, we already provide the down to the coach. The play is going to need to know just so that it can calculate what the next play's result's going to be, and we can pass that back as part of play info. Or we set it. That's the other option. We can have this calculate the offensive down to go, and the play just, just keeps going unless otherwise intended. But interestingly enough, we are making it calculate for the touchdown. I mean, it calculates if it scores or not scores, and then we pass back what we did. It's the same thing. Did we pass the 10-yard line? And, how far did we have to go for that to happen? And this is just going to say, okay, next play, this is where you're at. And the next play does the same thing, but it has to do it for the first down. It's like first test might be score, second test is first down. And I would say yards to go is, for a score, is going to always be 0, right? First down is 1, first and 10 is 10, but it doesn't matter. It's not using that value anymore because we're not running a play for yardage. Yeah, let's do that. That means my plays now got a little bit more information. I no longer am just yards to go and plays, but it's first down yards to go or yards to first down. And offensive down. That down is really offensive to me. Let's see, we got game results. What am I reading here? Seconds. Current quarter. based on that info, I don't need any of this guy. That can go away. So it's going to be interesting. So maybe I wonder if I should store. I wonder if I should store the quarter results and then apply them after the drive ends. You know, once the drive ends, we show the quarter, and then the quarter, or at the end of the quarter, we show the quarter score or quarter results. And then the next quarter will show the quarter. But once we end the quarter, we won't show those until the end. Yeah. Just lay this out in your head, Ken. Stop making it so difficult. Get it played out. Okay, so we've got our current quarter, and underneath, oh, we don't even have the right values in here, because what we want to do is, I did say that this will be down, but under down, what we're going to want is, because I didn't have current play, we're going to say, what did I call it? Current play is going to be, I don't want to say play down. Play down seems weird. Play down. Play down. Next down. I don't know. I say offensive down. I'm going to say offensive down because it just seems to be the only thing I can think of. I thought I did something somewhere where I actually added a down and I came up with another name in my head and I could just get it, but I don't see it. So if I did do that, sorry me, I lost it. Yards to go, current quarter. And then drive. Yeah, I don't know. If I came up with something cool, something applicable, it's just going to be offensive down. I lost it. Sorry me. Got to apologize to myself for losing that good idea. If it was, I feel like maybe I did, but maybe not. Offensive down. And then we're gonna say, oh wait, what? Oh no, we're okay. Never mind. All right. Do we say and? First and 1, first and 10. Do you say and? Is and a thing? Or do you say, I don't remember. How do they do it? And then we'll say, we don't want good game state. We're gonna go current play dot next down. No, yards to go. No, not yards to go. What is it? Yards to first down. Yards to first down. Okay. Okay, so we have that. So now we just have to create this instance of current play because current play does not exist as of yet. Current play is basically going to be this guy, but it's going to be singular and it won't be an array. It'll be like this, will be constant. Current play, comma, set current play equals use state, and it's just squigglies. So do you put squigglies in there? Sure, we put squigglies in there. Why wouldn't we? There we go. That's everything that's supposed to be in there, I think. Right? Oh, that's... Whoops. That's oh, play info. So we got play result, points scored, play description, new yards to go, turnover. Wait, what are we missing here? Oh, that's the offensive play, which I have to pass that information in, but that's the wrong one. This is the one I'm trying to build, mimic. I gotta do this guy. That's what my play info is gonna be, because I haven't passed it in and set that stuff up in the quarter or in the drive yet. Game result, and that's gonna be this. I'm missing my squiggly. Okay, so the idea is that when the current play changes, that's going to trigger the update. So we're going to say current play here. Current play. Try to trigger whenever the current play changes, we do whatever we do. And hopefully that's going to trigger my changes. I don't think I need a current play index because I'm not going to read it that way. I'm just going to go through and hopefully I'm triggering current play while I'm running. So I don't want to have... I'm going to set current play as we iterate through all of them. That's my theory. And hopefully each time that results in a change, we trigger the output change. That's what I'm hoping for. So I don't know. We're gonna see. For each item in an array, we're gonna do blah blah blah, and hopefully we're going to be firing or causing the result to change. We're just gonna go through set, go through set, go through set, go through set, and hopefully that's firing changes to the set current play, and that updates all the stuff. It's really all I wanted to do is just update all those things in here as we go through. I don't know if that's going to work because I don't know if I can do it that way. I don't know if setting it will allow it to just go and update these values. Are these guys being triggered by the change, or do I have to go in here and go, okay, well, when this changes, I set current play. Does that change those? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. We're going to find out, though. We're going to find out. We do have to do the interval, but instead of saying set current play index, I'm just going to say set current play. Let's see what happens if I do that. Set current play. And maybe that's why they use the index, because you can't. Can you do a for each in array in a use effect? I don't know. I feel like you can, but I don't know. Set current play. We're gonna say we'll say set current play play. We're just going to call it play. We'll actually go one more. We'll say play results. And then we're going to do this. And yeah, maybe, kind of, possibly, maybe. I really don't know what this is going to do. Like I said, my mental logic is I feel like I'm solving the problem in my head, but it could be not. So, yeah. Okay, so what we need to do though is how do we iterate could I all right, I what I don't know for sure is I got to go through my my programming here. You know, I didn't even change this. Let's go to my planning. Let's go to planning. Go to my planning.
You've got our attention.
Whoa.
What is it you want?
I would like to speak to Lois Lane. Don't play games with me, General. I'll surrender, but only if you guarantee Lois is free.
I think it's funny how he did that. And I mean, that's why the whole image is kind of funny, because he surrenders. He's got these little rinky-dink handcuffs on him, and he just gets up and walks away and breaks them. He doesn't even like. There wasn't even like a flex. He just dropped his arms and they just came apart. It's like, oh, whoops, whatever. It's like, Soups, you're so funny, man. You're so funny. You're such a brute. Okay, so where was I? It's 10:30. So I was gonna close these two guys off because I did those. I did my planning and my workout this morning. So we say status. I'm just doing my complete my day maneuver here. I haven't done a breakfast break, but I'm not doing that. I'm doing that for at 11:30. I'm taking my breakfast break, and then I'm gonna come back and stream something a little bit different for a little different time. But for now, let's get back to this. Okay, so we got this running through. Oh yeah, I was gonna go to my programming tab. How did I end up here anyway? Do I have like? Oh yeah, my YouTube. Okay, well, that's not what I was looking for. Let's see. For each in an array. Right next to this. Constant employees. That's not a for each. That's just app blah const employee. How to use the for each method in React. That's not what I asked for from the AI. Let's see what this is a little bit more useful. Oh, here we go. Employees for each. Okay. So that's the definition of the items. This is what I wanted. So you can actually add to an array. You can actually add to an array output. So it's for each results.push const results. You're just creating an array of those items. Can't use for each outside for your JSX code. If you need to call a function or map directly in your JSX code or map. Oh, that's if you just want to read it out. But see, that doesn't sound like that would work if I just read it out. Map is the for each if you're doing it that way. But I feel like if I do it that way, it's going to create copies. And it won't have any kind of a delay. I want a delay. Because it would just go if that was the case. So you can use for each outside of your JSX code if you need to call a function once for each array element. See, they're using it. See, So when you do, no, I feel like that top one just drops them underneath each other. It's got this value, this value, this value, this value, but it's not going to change. It's not going to change your values. You're not going to get name, country. See, that's listing name and country. And employees.map is kind of doing the same thing, it looks like. Employees.map blah, and it says name, country, and it's creating this key for each one with an index. But if you're just trying to change the values on the field, and you just want a delay between changing it, you want the same values to stay there. You don't want to map or for each it, unless you're just updating those values. So that's what I'm trying to do. I want to update the values to the new values, but with a delay in it. So I'm going to have to do the employees dot for each, and then just I mean, yeah, that's what I'm going for. I think, possibly, kinda. I hope. Okay, we're gonna go back to my code. Essentially, it's just dot for each on the array. So we're gonna go here back to my use effect. We have the. I want to do it inside of here simply because once we have the set current place set, we don't want to. That's hopefully the trigger, and then we're going to have blah. But then I want to keep doing that. So what I probably should do is up here, we're going to go drive results dot plays dot for each. Okay, that's not working. Well, I mean, it didn't pop up as an option. For each I think that's syntactically broken. I think his syntax is broken. Oh, maybe not. Okay, so we're going to do this, and then we're going to say play, comma, index. And then that's that, and then we go equals this guy, and then a squiggly. I'm going to take the squiggly off. And then we're going to go all the way down here. Go end. We're going to squiggly again the other way. And then we'll do this and this. Hopefully. Doesn't like something. It's not finding the appropriate parentheses that go along with said actions. I feel like that's supposed to be returning to that. Oh, I'm too far out of. Too far out. I think this is supposed to be in here. That's on the use effect. Where's the one that goes with? Oh, that is not right. Why is that showing up there? Well, what the heck is this one then? Okay, that one's right. And then constant. Or do you not close these? Or that constant is there and then it's okay, I'm confused. What did I do? Because it was right before Did I mess something up? I gotta go all the way back. Because if I'm adding in this guy, I definitely need a paren. So if I want this to be enclosed, that's all I did. And then I have my left parenthesis and the right parenthesis to close the brackets. And then I have that. And then I should have this and the whatever it's enclosing, right? So it should be this, which pushes all those guys inside of the for each, but somehow they're getting reassigned incorrectly. Even though I'm trying to enclose everything in there. And then I should have, I am missing a parenthesis, I know that too, and that should be this guy. But look, it's way up there on the use effect. It's like, how is this wrong? What am I doing wrong? Oh, is it because I'm doing... I actually don't know. Is it because I'm breaking up an existing use effect? I wonder if I'm breaking something here. Am I sticking something in the middle of another action? No, because it has that set interval's got to be the 2000. I don't understand why I can't do this. Unless I have done something to break it prior to my being here. I did pull a lot of stuff out of that set result. Aha. Aha. That's not supposed to be a thing. Well, kinda. Because we got set interval, but that's the overall. Actually, all I need to do is this. That's all gone. We enclose it, we set interval, it's an interval. Okay, that's the problem. I had a bunch of junk that doesn't belong there anymore. And everybody's got, I don't think anything's broken right now. So if I go like this now, I should be able to go equals arrows, squiggly, delete, come down here, squiggly, parenthesis, that. How are we looking? All right, so yeah, we're not getting any weird bugs. I do kind of like the way what's it called? Visual Studio Code kind of told you if you had a problem in your code beforehand. But this doesn't seem to do that. I don't know what ESLint does. I should probably look it up. And what does ESLint do in Visual Studio 2022? Use ESLint to lint JavaScript to TypeScript. It's the whole. It sounds like one of those. It's like one of those dictionary definitions, you know. It's like kicking, the act of multiple or to kick or something like that. You know, kicker, one who kicks. It's like, but what is a kick? It's just like when you break it down. I mean, we know what a kick is, but I'm just saying you have a dictionary definition that uses the word that you're looking up as the definition. JavaScript and Visual Studio, okay. Enabling linting support in the options page. What does it do though? Disabling linting. What does lint do? I mean, yeah, I know it's something about debug or something. Dependencies. Building a new JavaScript experience. Options text editor. How to get custom ESLint working with. But what is it? Huh. I know it's just an option to turn on and off. I was trying to get something going the other day and you can just turn it on and off. What, why, when, and how? Yeah, exactly. What is? There we go. It's an open source JavaScript linting utility. What the heck is linting? Or originally created by blah, 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 blah. It is frequently used to find problematic patterns or code that doesn't adhere to certain style guidelines. ESLint is written using Node.js to provide a fast runtime environment and easy installation. You can impose the coding standard using a certain set of standalone rules. Yes, you can turn those rules on and off. These rules are completely pluggable. All right, so let's go to my project here. I believe it was under properties, the project, and I didn't have them on. Enable ESLint. We'll try it. I don't know what it's going to do, if it's going to do anything at all. Lintable languages. But like, what does it do? See, I'm not seeing any action. I don't know. I don't see any squiggly marks. I don't see the sudden change of the text bars. I don't know what it's doing in 22. Enough talk. Yeah, here's how I can use it. Prerequisite Node.js. You can use ESLint. Initialize it. Configure it. Use it. If you're here, that means you're successfully configured the ESLint. Here's how you can use it. You can also add lint in your JSON file. You've successfully made your code base look a lot cleaner and better than ever in just a few steps. Okay, if you say so. This is nice for those who want to begin adding ESLint to the project. Meanwhile, here is the link to the ESLint rules, which can be configured. Thanks. Need one for TypeScript as well. By the way, nice blog. Well, whatever. Didn't help me much. Didn't do much for me, man, because I don't even know what it did. I mean, I enabled it, I think, but that's all I know. Do I have to run something to do it? I have to go, if you're here. So it's not embedded ESLint. I have to actually run it. It's like a special call to lint it. Huh. Oh well. Let's see what happens with my code. I'm not going to worry about it right now. So in theory, we're going for each item in my play. I set current. Oh, I said play result. I guess it doesn't matter, but it's play result. And we're going to read it into here. And then hopefully that triggers these things to change. Hopefully. I'm not going to worry too much about the other values. We'll try to see what I'm missing here. I have a feeling we're problematic right now. So let's just run stuff and see what happens. I'm going to go to my git bash. Let's see if git bash will first compile, because I could have stuff broken here that I don't even. npm build. If it builds, great. We're a good chunk of our way to at least seeing what it's doing. Optimize production build. Get all my code nice and compiled. Build failed because of Webpack errors. We got an error up here. Special teams play is defined multiple times. Oh, is that so? Oh, okay. Well, that's definitely a break. I just forgot to change the name of my reference. Coach. I'll just call it Coach. Why not? Call it easy. And that's what I'm actually calling down here anyways, Coach. So yeah, I just needed to make a home for my coaching component and didn't change the name. Let's try it again. I could have multiples of these kind of things going on, so it's going to take a second to get this going. Or I missed, you try to write it all so you don't have any bugs. And as accurate I like to think of myself as being able to figure those things out, I often miss things. I try to keep an eye out for the squigglies, but some of the little squigglies and the little red lines, they're like under a parenthesis or under something, and it's just this tiny little thing that you just don't necessarily see. Uh-oh, what happened? Whoa, whoa. Failed to compile. What is all this? Can be escaped with blah, 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 blah. Error. 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 Need to disable some ESLint rules. Learn more here. Is that an ESLint rule problem? Okay, so we have error. So we have a quote issue. Is that what the problem is? 118 on my game result. 118. Nope, that's not right. That's not going to be a thing. What else have we got here? 138. I don't know what I'm looking at as far as those numbers on the thing. It just says 138 quote 118. 138. So is the problem that I'm using double quotes? I mean, I don't know why it would matter, but it says 138. Does it not like any? Well, if it was complaining about the other lines, they would be. No react. No unescaped entities. No unescaped entities. I don't know. So that's basically it. It is a, I'm guessing, a lint issue. I'd like to kind of keep it clean. I mean, do what is the standard. But if, I don't know what I'm trying to fix here though. It says, quote can be escaped with any of those things. But what is it complaining about? Is it the pieces in here or the pieces over here? Oh, you know what it might be. These might not even need to be quoted at all because this is just text. Just like if you're always writing down, I should just go like that. That might be the problem. In fact, I may not even need that. If all we're doing is outputting, and that's just output info, it's not really building a string. I'm just putting information out in those positions. Let's see what that does. Let's see if I'm making any progress. There's 4 of them, so obviously I got more problems, but I want to see if those two kind of go, if I get less. If this is where the problem is, and if it's more okay with it. Did I fix some problem? Linting and checking validity of types. Nope, still didn't like it. Oh, but I didn't save, so that's probably a thing. Let's try saving it. I don't know why it doesn't autosave. Save when build. Let's try to get a... Indian food. Huh, looks like we got past it. So it was both of those. Because there's two quotes. One quote for the colon and one set of quotes for the and. Taking both of those out seems to have got me past the compile issue. Okay, so I don't, yeah, because I didn't need to quote them. I'm just putting in text, and these are just inserting in those spots. So let's see what happens. Again, don't necessarily expect this to work, but let's see what it does in its objective of blowing the heck up. It's because, you know, that's the objective of most code. I don't know what this is going to do. This is going to be crap. It's going to just throw out some junk that I didn't. I should have just deleted that, but I didn't. So it's this top part here is all I'm worried about. Now, if it complains about that bottom part, I'll just delete the bottom part. All right, let's see what happens. Drum roll, please. Do we even get a start, or do we just explode? Do we get something? It's going in here. Do I have breaks? I didn't even know I had a break. Export default drive. Exception. Reference drive. Oh, my coach is undefined. Darn Garn Narbit. My coach doesn't have anything. Because I always do that. I don't know why. It's get play call. Get play call I fixed, but coach I did not. Export default coach. Fine. What else? Is this showing me something else? Oh, nope, just that. Okay. Now, you can see I haven't put a lot of air handlers in my code. That's bad. I'm just reminding you, I got to put air handlers in. I should be putting them in now. I'm trying to get things functional, but then I should put air handlers in to catch other problems. Ultimately, I think I'm going to be refactoring game results, and it's going to be a lot less code because I think I'm zeroing in on what it is exactly I want to show up. And I think it's like I don't even know if I need like this index junk. What is that? Item. I'm not iterating through the index. This, I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of all of this. Yeah, let's just get rid of all that. We're just gonna go blah, and then we're gonna go down. It's gonna go in here to div, and we're gonna go index, and then we're just gonna get rid of all of this too. Because I'm not building off of any of this stuff. All I want is my div. And my output. I don't know. This guy's breaking because of stuff. Where does that div close? I don't see the closing tag on my div here. Huh, I can't undo. Can't undo my thing here. But I don't want this table. And I don't want this. I still don't know where this div is closed. Oh, that's the close. Weird. Okay, and then this is my body. All right. All right, well. Let's simplify. Just trying to simplify. All right. And I'm sure ChatGPT would have something to say about my approach here, but I'm not asking him right now. Sometimes you guys got to go on without Mr. GPT telling you what to do. Build failed. Turkey butts. What'd I do? No data available. Wait, what? Game result, unexpected token. Did you mean blah, 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 blah? Or blah, 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 blah? What is this? Game result 152. Okay, so yeah, I'm missing something. We have game result, output, 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 and then these guys. So I actually don't need this either. I'm not sure what these guys are doing either. I don't think they're doing anything either. Because all I got is my div, which is going div to div, and I was going div to div. Where's, oh, okay, div to div, div to div, and then the body of the div, and then the closing div tag. Okay, let's try that again. Still wearing my workout shorts, and I'm freezing. Even with my heater going, it's not able to keep up in here. I'm starting to get cold. I could throw on my sweatshirt, but I'm trying to make it 25 more minutes, because that's when I'm going to take my break and disappear for a little while. Come back, try again. Okay. Where are we with this? Okay, so we're going to try another output here. Assuming this guy builds. Looks like we're doing pretty good. We got past the compiling. And there we go. All right, let's load what we got. See if we can get a better output. Now, we have not actually dropped the play name. So all we're right now is it's going to run through, doing delay. It's going to be like we're just sitting there. But hopefully something's going to happen. Hopefully something will be visible. Ultimately, we'll see. Should be some stuff that changes. Oh, 22. What do we got? Index is not defined. Wait, where are we? Game result 122. Oh. Yeah, we don't need that. That old line can go away. That's a non-starter. Now what? Oops, do we have an extra comma? Wait, I still have index on here? Oh, I do still have index on here. Yeah, I'll just get rid of that too. Just keep dumping them. If it's referencing something I don't want, I'm not worried about right now. We'll deal with that later. Now what? Item is not defined. What? Where's item? Oh. Wait, item's not defined somewhere? Isn't item just data.map item.index? Okay, so it's probably game state or game result. Which one of these has that? I have game state. Oh, that doesn't have it in there. I'm not even sure why I'm setting it that way. I should just have constants on here. I mean, really, I may eventually have to use something because it'll be dynamically identified. But right now, it's not. Let's go constant. Team 1 equals Broncos. Team 1 mascot. Team 1, is it mascot? No, it's because it's not, because the Browns, well, I guess it's not technically a Brown, but what is it, mascot? All right, fine. Mascot equals Broncos. Then we're just going to ship. Now we're going to go team 2, team 1 city. Denver. And then we're going to go team 2 mascot. Hard coded for now till we get somewhere. And city. And then we'll go down here. Devner. Not sure why it's complaining. Why is it complaining? Redeclare block scope variables team 1 city. Do I have team 1 city somewhere? Where? Oh, it is in something here, right? Nope. Nope. Where is it then if it says I have this somewhere else? Okay, I'm not seeing it. Oh, it's right here. Declare, put it in the same, put on top of itself. Okay, team 1 mascot, team 1 city. Let's go down here. I'll say team 1 mascot plus space plus team 1 city. Oops. What did I just do? Nothing. Seems to be fine. Just moved. Wait. Oh, never mind. This needs to go right here. Up. Up. And this is 2. We'll change that guy. Now we have, now item is not going to be team 1 total score. It's going to be game state total score or something else has it. Team 1 total score is off of game state. So we just need to go down here and go game state. Which, by the way, is probably wrong. It's probably not going to have it because I don't think I'm updating game state anywhere here, which is going to be a problem. Pretty sure I'm not actually updating game state at this point. I'm hoping it's getting updated. We got drive result because I really want to update the total score from the play results, because we could actually have multiple scores in there, and that's not going to be a decent thing to use game state. It's kind of the same problem as the other one, because we could have a positive and a negative score in the event that some things happen. Like if the other team scored, it's a negative score because we have to put it on the other team's scoreboard. Because like the drive is currently owned by the team that's running the drive, but if they throw an interception, goes back for a touchdown, that's 6 points negative, and that goes on to the other teams because it was an interception. And now it's going to be whoever's team ball again. But ultimately, we need to tweak that. So, I don't know. I'm guessing this team score thing is just going to be wrong. So what I might need to do is when I set the play result in here, I might also need to try to set game state. Let's say, what if it's like I don't need these. City 1, team 1, I'm taking those off. That's yeah, let's just get rid of that. We're just going to use hard-coded values because they're not going to change. There's no reason for them to be in there. We don't need to set them but the one time. So it's kind of silly to have them in there. But we might have, see, that's quarter result. This is what we're going to add to the score. And that could be the entire quarter. That could be like 5 drives. And I want to update the score as they happen. So that makes that kind of a bleh. Makes it a bad option. So what I really want to do is actually update maybe the game state. Set data is not the data we want. It's just not going to work. But where's game state at? Game state's here. Quarter time, current quarter. But game state doesn't have a... Game state does have the total score on it, though. So when is game state score updated? It's not updated here. Let's do this. I'm trying trying to resolve this in my head. Let's set game state here. Set game state, and we're gonna do the same kind of thing. We're gonna leave previous. It's not an array, but we're just gonna leave things as they are. We're just gonna plop this puppy on here. We're gonna say, but I guess there is a current quarter. We're not going to necessarily update that. Starting time for next. We don't need either of these. We're not going to update those guys right now. We're not worried about them. We'll leave that to the other piece. But we do want to update team 1 total score and team 2 total score. And then we're going to go here. We're going to say... We're going to set this to team. Was it previous? All right, previous dot team 1 total score. And previous dot team 2 total team. Wait, what is team 2 total score? Okay. And this is going to be plus team with possession equals team 1 and play dot points scored is greater than 0, or well, greater than or equal to 0, greater than or equal to 0. We're going to go ahead and let's see, play dot points scored is greater than or equal to 0. We're going to want to add equals. It's actually not right. Can I say plus? Can it? Well, let's say. No, it's. I just need to add this. That's what I need to do. It's going to be the previous score plus whatever this is. If it's team 1 and it's greater than or equal to 0, then we're going to put in this value. Nope, that's not right. Because there's going to be times when it goes both ways. So it's going to, I have to do this first. If it's team 1, if it equals team 1, then if it's greater than or equal to 0, if it equals team 1, if it's greater than or equal to 0, then it's this value. Oops. Dang it. Oh, okay. So we got, it'll equal this, else it's going to be 0. And I have really got to be better about this. And if it doesn't equal team 1, we have to do the same basic math. We're going to do the same thing. Do the same thing again, but only if it's negative. If it doesn't equal 1, then we have to do this guy and go like this, and it's going to be, if it's less than or equal to, less than or, no, not or equal to, less than 0, then it's going to be math.abs play point scored. So we're going to flip it over to positive score, and we're going to add that on to their score. And then we're going to close that off. Okay, so then we go shift home, and we do the same thing for team 2. Where's my arrow? My finger apparently couldn't reach it without me looking. Okay, so now we got team with possession. Now we got to look at team 2. And it's basically the same. It's going to go down here, play point scored, play point scored. It's exactly the same. It's like, it's all we're just checking to see if we're on the same team. And then that should generically flip the scores over. If it's a negative, it goes on the other team. If it's a positive, it goes on this team. But it's got to be positive for the other team when it's there. So we'll have that going on the play point scored, and then we'll have our team total score. Theoretically, it gets updated at this point, and hopefully things change when the team total one score is set. We will find out. I don't even know, where is this Q results? Oh, we have the quarter being called back because we're reading stuff off quarter. Don't care about that. Score 1, score 2 is coming off of data. Again, I'm not even reading from data anymore. I'm probably going to get rid of that whole data object. So this, well, it's going to force that to do something. 122 still have an index. Where the heck is this index, man? I keep thinking I got rid of all this stuff, and oh, good grief. Do I need an index at all? Do I even need a play index? I'm dynamically updating it constantly, so I don't feel like I need an index because I'm not reading them into this in the app. Oh, look, something happened. Oh, that actually kind of looked good. I mean, granted, it blew up, but I mean, it kind of sort of looked like it was on the right path. Offensive play. Let's go. For that blitz second, it looked like, whoo, there's something there, and then it just gone. So apparently it was running some play and blew up on something. Cannot read property of undefined. Reading index of 12. 12. Okay. So play call, index of 2. Why can't it read that? Oh, am I like doing something weird? Like it's not capitalized correctly or something? I know I have index of in like 1,000 different places. So it's got to be like, I know I use index of. Where's it at? Well, I was using index of a lot. I was searching through all of the coaching lines, all the commentator lines, but now I've gotten rid of a lot of that. So maybe it's not as common as I thought. Where are we? Does it even exist? Is there no index of? Nope. That was the only place I think I was actually looking for it. And I simplified all my code. I stopped looking for things. So now I'm like, I don't have that example anymore. What did I do wrong? Is it capital I? Oh, no, because the methods are usually lowercase. Almost always, it seems like. So what is wrong? Do I have it in my, or another place in here? Special teams is probably choking on the same line. Let's see where I got this thing at. React DOM. Is it just like it's double quotes? Because this one uses it too. That's weird. I can't believe that they have a built-in function that's using string checks like this. It seems so beneath them. All right, let's just put in double quotes and see if that's the thing that's causing me problems. Seems weird, but maybe. Kind of worked. But then we broke up on a different play. No, same problem. Index. All right, what is wrong with my index play? Is it capital? No, in their example, it's not capital. Stack dot index of. All right. Let's go. It's probably something obvious, but I'm not seeing it. So let's let ChatGPT tell me what an idiot I am. Okay, go ahead, ChatGPT. Let me have it. Why am I getting a cannot read on this line? Cannot in React.js. Really? The problem is that it's problem play call might not be initialized or is undefined. Ensure play call is properly initialized and contains a string or array before running .index of. So it's not complaining about the index of. It might not be a string array. Oh, I know it is. Validate the type of call. Well, I already know that's right. So that's not it. But it's not set. It's like saying I don't have a value. Under what scenario would I not have a value here? All right, let's, I guess we'll have to put a break here. And, what? Change it to, I don't know. Change it to single quotes just to have a change that triggers. I just want to see if it'll break here. All right, so what is play call? Undefined. Play call is undefined. Under what scenario did I get a call to my offense play that doesn't have a play call? Because that's not possible. Not supposed to be. So coach, man, what's the deal? Let's go here. We'll do a conditional break right here. I'll say settings. Well, let's put a stop. Let's put a stop. And then we're going to go here. And we're going to go settings. And we're going to go conditions. And we'll say play call. I think undefined will come back as false. Is there an option here that says defined or undefined or anything? No, nope. We'll just throw play call here. It's false though, because we want is false. Oh. Not play call. Let's see what happens if I do that. Might be a weird. It might be a weird scenario, but we shall see anyway. Let's put it back to the double quotes because that seems to be what the other thing did there. And we'll go to get bash. It might be the first time it calls for all I know, but we're going to find out. Oops, no, go away. I know you don't like that. Was I too late? Did it work? Because if I have that open, it'll explode. We compiled okay. We're linting okay. All right, everybody seems to be okay. Um, I I feel like my layout was actually working kind of good. I didn't see the end result. I saw something about, oh yeah, I did say football simulator. I mean, there was some stuff there that looked encouraging. So we'll see. But we haven't got it to actually run all the way through. We haven't got any results, haven't got any plays yet. So there's a number of things that haven't happened yet. But we did get what looked like a better output. All right, I've hit my goal time for today, so I can go take care of things. Let's see what this does. We'll see where I'm at for a good pause point, and then I'll take a break. So we got stuff here. It's not exploding, but that could be because I just broke. Okay, I just broke. Okay, so this theoretically is empty. So our coach did not give us a value. So we went into coach. Coach said, yeah, I'm not returning nothing to you. So why? Why did coach not return anything? Well, should have been returning stuff. I mean, we only have two options, return and return. It should have returned something in both these cases. Yard score greater than 0, blah, 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 blah. But under what circumstance would one of those not have a value in it? I don't think I have any options that wouldn't have a value in it. If it equals EP, we do this. Else we do this guy. Equals 1. Let's run 2 or pass 2. We do... If it's 4, we do this. Else we do this, which is run or pass. Oh, I wonder if I've got a... You know, I think I might have a problem here. I think this guy needs to be like this. And this guy also needs to be parenthesized. This guy should probably be here. Wait, if kickoff required, then we do kickoff. Else we do this result, which is another if, which is that guy getting his thing. And then we have another parenthesis if we want one to encapsulate everything. I think I may have been missing an alternate option. So we got this, which encloses that, which is the... Wait, no. This encloses this, which is an or else that is this, which has its own little thing in here, which is blah, which is this. So we have that one encloses on there, and now... Okay, wait a minute. This one's easier for some reason. We have our decision, and then we have everything that encloses this, which should take us to that one, and then the outside one takes that one, and then we have an or here, which takes us to the inside one, right? Yes, okay. So now this one, we have our thing, which is just this guy, and then the else is this guy, and this guy is his own little or, but he doesn't enclose anything because he just run or pass. And then this one encloses the whole thing. Okay, I think we're better. And then we'll just stop. because obviously that didn't work. And let's see if it'll just run. I'm going to see if my change took effect. It may not take effect, but we're going to take a look and see. Yeah, looks like it still couldn't take effect. So what I might need to do is set these to a variable and then call the get play. You know what it could be too is when I call this, well, I don't know, maybe return isn't working in there, but I want to first stop it before I try to rewrite it. I could rewrite it to have those be variables and then have the get play call and then return the result, like a lot of these are doing, because a lot of these is call it and return the result. But it's because I'm setting stuff after we've done stuff, and there's no need to do that here. So I was hoping I didn't need to do that, but I thought you could just return from the inside of the thing, but it could be wrong. We're going to find out though, because if this next step doesn't work, we're going to close this, rebuild it, just to make sure that everybody's got all my stuff, and then we'll build it, try to run it. If not, I'll flip those over to variables, and then I'll just return it as a variable at the end. And then if we don't have an answer, then there's something else going on. I'm still messed up on my things there. I thought the problem was simply that I forgot to, and I had bad parentheses and I wasn't returning. As a result, it was looking like I was returning the wrong subset. Now I've noticed that I've had to compile usually when I change code, not output. I can usually change output and it'll work fine, but changing code doesn't always trigger unless I rebuild it. So I have to run it manually. Okay, so let's see where we're at. I mean, I want to make it nicer still. I'd like to put a banner behind it. I'd like to put some actual scores, maybe some colors, some bolding, clean it up. But first and foremost, we need to actually get this to run and see what it looks like. So we're still getting our play call with 0. It doesn't like it. For whatever reason, it's not coming back. I'm not successfully changing it for whatever reason. Even though I thought return would return it, it's not returning something. It's not doing it. So let's look at my output. Football simulator. We got Denver Broncos. Why are the Seattle Seahawks and Denver Broncos on separate lines? That should be one line. So somehow it wrapped. Don't know why, because this is plenty big. There's not I don't have a limitation on that. But let's go back to my game results. It's my width. My width is ugly. Let's go 400. How much bigger do I need for that to fit? Let's say 200. And we're gonna do the same thing up here. That one's bigger though. We'll make that 300. Do I actually have city and state on separate TDs? No. Oh, okay. I see what I did. Never mind. Hopefully it's big enough. If not, we'll change that later. So that should be the team score, the middle score, blah score. But these guys are not landing where I expected them to. So it sounds like my logic and how things are set up might not play out. So if So it's not 3 rows. If I got to build it across, do I go... Oh, do I have to nest it? Oh, do I have to put a table in a table? I may have to put a table in a table if I want it to land in the middle. That would mean the middle football simulator would be its own table. I think I have to put a table in a table. And then I go here. TD, and then we pull this guy over here in this cell, which is also going to be a row span 3. We're going to put in another table. I mean, I guess it... I mean, I guess I don't have to have that one. I could just say table. T-body table. And then we're going to go T-body. And then we'll go T-row. And then this T-row, well, you know, actually it's just this. Let's just take this guy. And then this guy would be the other row. Now, theoretically, it's probably still wrong. Because, actually it might be okay, because we're going to have the first row, we'll have this game's quarter, whatever, but we're going to span it for 2. But in sequence, we'll put the next... Oh. In the next sequence, we have the current... We have the current quarter... Wait, why do I have that twice? So down. Cell, down. Table row puts it all underneath. And then this doesn't even need to be there. I don't know why I have that. You know, I could probably just not even... What if I just take this, go like that, and just insert this stuff. I mean, I won't be able to make it pretty though if I do it that way. I mean, I can, but then I have to bracket in fonts and do weird stuff with it. I don't know if I want to do that or not. Or if I want to just decorate the cell. I don't know which way is better. Is BR not a thing anymore? It doesn't like some of my stuff. I might just have multiple bad things. Dang it. I can't. My fingers don't. My finger does not cross back far enough to. to hit that inside arrow. I can't. What if I just do something like... Nope. So TD, close that TD and TR and table body. All right. I don't see any squiggly problems. Nothing yet. All right, so it's 1:48. I went a little over my time. I think I am going to go ahead and call it for now, simply because I need to get some other things done. I really just I don't have a lot more I wanted to test out here. It does look like it's not a big fan of whatever I'm doing here, so I'm gonna have to do something of the nature of, like, I don't know, var play call or play, we'll just say play equals nothing, and we'll just do that, and then we're gonna go play, and we'll just say equals, and this way I can at least, if it's not working, I can at least and then we'll just go down here and we'll say return play. This will make it easier, if nothing else, for me to step through the code, find out what's happening. Why are we still blowing up kind of stuff, you know? So it's not complaining about anything I've done. It's not having a problem with my compile. It says compiled and blah, blah, blah. Let's see if I can run it. I think it's gonna, why is Riot Games opening up? Did I click on something? Who invited you to come in? Why? What did I do to get Riot Games open? And we're still getting our break because this is still undefined. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if this layout better. It's yeah, it looks pretty good actually. Broncos 0, 0 Seahawks, football simulator. This is the quarter. I should probably put something on there to identify it. This should be down, not own, but I don't think that's a typo. I think I just probably cut it off or something. Or maybe I did typo it. Maybe I accidentally deleted it. Yep, I did. I did exactly that. Down. And my quarter, current quarter, we'll do something like quarter. How about QTR? Like that? QTR? No. TR? With a space. And I mean, yeah, it looked pretty good. I mean, it was not formatted pretty or anything, but hopefully we'll be better off. All right, so we'll go Control-Shift-S, and we'll do a quick break right here because obviously things are coming back undefined when we need to see why. So we're gonna go localhost. Oh, let's go to let's just build it, because if I don't, it might not work, and then I have to come back and build it again just to make sure. So I'd be better off. It says it's compiling, it says it's doing stuff, and it might be working, but I've had experiences where it felt like it wasn't taking my changes, and unless I did a full build. So I'm doing the build again. And it could be because sometimes I have syntax errors and the compile doesn't work right or whatever, but let's let this, man, I am freezing. I need to go reset. I need to go reset. So it took a half hour longer than I wanted to. I'm motivated to get this thing running. The only thing next will be to actually put the play in, and I'm going to put that underneath my banner and just have it kind of rotate through. Maybe it'll even be big letters and something to kind of show. And then hopefully scores will change and we'll get things looking good. And then we'll be at a point where I can do some formatting, maybe make it look prettier. But ultimately, I should be able to start digging into the execution part of the plays, where I start implementing player responses, player actions, because that's really the only thing left to do. I mean, to make it start looking cool. And then once I can get some player execution, so I'll basically have like one play, one set of players, one kind of thing going on, as I start to identify how these things are supposed to function. And then I start to wonder if like the best way to do that might be like asynchronous calls, so that we can call like all the plays at once, all the things going on at once. And then once they all come back, we have to check to see what happened so that we can respond to each item that returned. So it's going to be interesting. Try to see that stuff take place. So we do have a pretty nice looking layout now. 0, 0, got the quarter 1, how much time is left. The down is 1st and 10. That's where we start. So we'll see where that goes as I go through here. So we're going to go F10 here. Immediately we got out of there. What is our play? Our play says pass. Worked. So that's all I expected to say. F10. If all we do is that, then we return that play. So we'll go F5. We'll come back to here. We're running our play. Something blows up. Okay, so we did make progress. We got past whatever the undefined was, so this solved that. Time for a break. I'm going to go do whatever I got to do, and hopefully I can come back and fix whatever this is. It looks like we got an undefined turnover. Shouldn't, but we'll worry about that shortly. Till the next